On Saturday, October 11th, 2014, I was flying from New York to Charlotte as a connecting flight back to Kansas City. I was returning from a conference with two of my friends, colleagues, and as we were up in the air, we noticed that there was a drop in temperature in our plane. And it was a little bit alarming, but we're like, oh, no big deal. And I was kind of dozing off. But then we started to notice our plane dropping in altitude rather quickly. There's a little bit of panic. I'm awake now. And then the panic increased when the oxygen masks deployed from above us. I looked at my friend Chris, who's sitting next to me, and we were pretty shocked, but we just put our masks on and prepared for what was next. We had no idea what it was. No one was telling us what was going on, and the plane started to go down even faster. And in this moment, I was honestly reflecting on the fact that this is it. That was a moment of thinking, I am near death. And I got my phone out and began crafting a text message to my wife and my 3 daughters, letting them know that I love them, that I'm thinking about them, and that I'm on a plane, that we're going down. And a few minutes later, the captain came on and notified us that we had lost cabin pressure, that everything else was functioning fine, that we just needed to drop to 10,000 feet so that we could breathe properly. And so obviously, we can now kind of take a big sigh of relief. We can take the oxygen masks off, but it was very much a scary moment. And as my friend Chris and I were talking and reflecting and processing about what just happened, we noticed that as these oxygen masks are still dangling in front of us, that on the side of the little bag says Lenexa, Kansas, which is a suburb of our hometown. And I kind of made a note of that. I was like, that's interesting that this company in my backyard made this device that really helped us. But it wasn't until about a few months later where our church, we were going through a sermon series on faith, work, and economics, of all things. And it was during that series that I think the Lord was doing something in my heart and mind by granting me this kind of imagination for the way in which the work of literally millions of people serves to bless me and make my life better. And I just started to sit at my desk and look at all the things that makes my life easy, that allows me to do my work well. I was immediately reminded of the oxygen mask. So I got online and just searched for oxygen mask, Lenexa, Kansas. And what popped up was BE Aerospace. And I looked at their website, and I didn't even have really a plan. I was just kind of responding, and I went and found a contact and sent an email and shared the story of the oxygen mask and our flight. And as I'm sharing the story, I decided to also just share why I wanted to express my gratitude, because I saw a connection between the way in which we work and how that blesses and serves our neighbors. And so in the end of that email, I said this: if I may be so bold, I'd like to thank God for the work that He has called and equipped your company to do. I know that not many people think of work like this as being work God cares about, but I strongly beg to differ. I believe that God cares deeply about all work that is done well and promotes human flourishing. So again, thank you for your work, and please, by all means, keep doing what you're doing and do it well for the common good of all.
When I got the email, I said, well, our people work here every day. They know we provide or we produce life support systems, yeah? I always emphasize with my people that the products we make here are designed and used to save people's lives, and that it is very important that they produce very high quality product, and that for doing that, or in doing that, that they follow all the procedures, the work instructions. And I thought it would be a very good message for them to hear it from someone other than their boss, yeah. When Reid came, we had the all hands meeting, and it was really a fantastic experience, because there was probably very few dry eyes, I would say, in the room. And to see that what they are doing every day impacted a person and his family and a lot of other person, around Reid on the aircraft, was really something that impacted the people here. It really did.
And there were people that came up to me crying and telling me how meaningful it was. No one has ever taken the time to express gratitude for our work. And I was so amazed by that, and it led me to think, gosh, how significant it is for us to pause, to thank people specifically for their work, to not just make them feel better about what they do, but to also give them a more robust imagination for the fact that God is at work in our world through our work, and that God cares about our work because our work is a means by which we love and serve our neighbors for the good of all people and the glory of His name.